See, I wanted to do one of those Ford truck joke things with like the do I want to know in the background, but I'm too uncreative to be able to do that. So just imagining me saying some bullshit while it plays in the intro. Part 7 for Spiderweb 7. Coincidence? Who knows? Okay, so plan for today is simple. We're gonna look through this. I'm gonna talk a little bit about this previous vote, and then we're going to have special guest. You guys will see. Yeah, I'm just gonna give like basic opinions on stuff. Talk about like how people have used all of the roles and stuff, and is going to be fun. Let's not screw around. Let's get into it. Vigilante. This one is, I'd say, my second favorite. There's two ways you can use the Vigilante. You can either use it, increase your vote power a ton, but risk having it nullified, or you can do it purposely to nullify the snipers. All of these bring in a ton of strategy that we haven't really seen this level of so far. I think it was either Alien or Viridian who said that this is finally bringing in people's like critical thinking skills like into full effect, which honestly I wouldn't entirely disagree with. This is by far the most complex and thought-provoking twist so far. This has a few layers to it. And yeah, I just think it's cool. Magician, the one with the one perk that no one has discovered yet. So, of course, you remove a vote from yourself for every round. However, that vote can go negative. And if you're watching this, you know how the zombie works. So if you like have a super high vote count, you can magician, then have a negative vote count the next round, zombie, and get a free comeback and rob Jason of everything. Now that would be a very, very smart move. However, no one's even questioned the fact that you can have a negative vote count, because what the hell would that do for you? Why would you be able to have a negative vote count? Like, what's the point? If someone does think of it, you might be able to pull something. At the same time, you could also get like a super vote block or just like a normal vote block and get a negative vote count and do it that way, but no one's figured it out yet, and if you ask me, I don't think it's going to happen. Hive Mind, my favorite one. I've seen a lot of people saying that this is a little bit overpowered, like a full vote and then everyone else who adds on adds 0.25. I think this was done absolutely perfectly. People are saying like a very small amount of people can have a majority in vote. Coordinating that would be ridiculously hard. And if you're able to do that, you fully deserve every single bit of this twist. You deserve all perks of it if you're able to coordinate it. Like if you're able to coordinate 5 people into getting, what would that be? Like 1 plus 0.25 times 4. So each of the 5 people have 10 votes compared to the other 15's vote. That's 25% of people having 40% of the vote power. If you're able to coordinate that, by all means, you deserve that. Okay, Oracle, pretty useless, considering Gray is always going to get a coin from the trivia. A car is going to get one about half the time, and then the rest of them are basically just random chance. There's like a chance you might be able to get like a coin from this, but more than likely, especially at this phase of the game, I don't think it's really that useful. This is definitely the safe option though. Oh my gosh, I keep getting pinged. I mean, this is also me as a spectator knowing that like on average 1.5 coins are always going to be gone. But I'm not playing, and I'm not the one to make that decision, so they can do what they want. What is useless, however, unless you really don't think you can get more coins and you want to make a big purchase, this is completely useless. I mean, the only person who's used this so far was Lotus, who used it to get a half idol, which got wasted immediately because Brandon... I genuinely can't tell if it was like a brilliant read or just extremely lucky. The only time this has been used has backfired. Unless you're just trying to make a big purchase, there's no point in doing this, I don't think. Witness, the one everyone is choosing. The Witness kind of plays into the same idea as a couple of the others, where like this is a very safe pick. It doesn't really have any drawbacks, but I think this definitely has the best risk reward scenario. There's absolutely no risk, and if you know people who are voting for you, you can basically take a stab at what roles they have, and if you get it right, their votes for you don't count that round, or any other round for that matter, so they can't target you later. Everyone else seems to have figured out, and I'm pretty sure half the people used it last time. And then there's the one that nobody's gonna pick because Jason has basically already won. The zombie. Is there any point in talking about this? I mean, unless someone finds out you can have a negative vote count, then zombie, skip a few rounds and then come back. And people are still gonna expect you to like keep up with the chat and stuff, so if you don't, you're probably screwed. Now on to my thoughts on the whole thing. Everyone say hi to our spreadsheet again. So here we have our list of everyone still in the game now. Yeah, a lot of people are choosing Witness. Another thing about this, the main reason I'm keeping this going, through this you can see how a lot of players are playing this stage of the game. Like if people are picking Vigilante, you can tell they're playing a very aggressive game and are either trying to get someone out or they're trying to screw some other people over. And then you have the players who are playing it safe with the oracles. Mike's has gone oracle every time. I can tell Mike's is playing this very, very safe. You have Viri who's doing I don't know what. Like, what is that? And then you have the hive minds who are kind of playing aggressive, but I feel like are also going to be trying to lay low, sort of. And the way it's been playing out so far, I really like. However, you can get a lot of stuff from the witnesses, specifically because of the witness role, but how they guess. You can see how they view others, which is really interesting. I have seen a lot of people, it's not here, but I've seen a lot of people try and guess Robert as the vigilante. And people are thinking that he's a very aggressive player who's trying to make some big moves. And considering his message count, I wouldn't exactly disagree. A lot of times it pays off, except for this time where it went Oracle for some reason. I don't know what the thought process was behind that. I feel like if people are guessing other people as witnesses, they think of them as like a strategic player. And if anyone's guessing people are playing Oracle, then they probably see them as like an extremely passive player who's just trying to play it safe, and then it turns out they picked Vigilante. But of course, like, I'm not in the head of these players, so I have no idea what they're thinking. I'm just trying to take my best guess because, like, I can't do anything else. And it's also just cool to like keep track of votes if you can. Yeah, that's my very bare bones analysis of this. I will say, watching this vote go on and like editing this and like and making connections to everything was like pretty stressful, but also like an absolute blast. Votes were shifting all over the place, strategies changing on the spot, trying to help people, trying to screw people over. It was just all over the place, and it was so fun to watch. I didn't pay like too close attention to the spiderweb, but I think the vote changes really told a story. This is easily my favorite twist so far, and I think we're about to get a little bit more information that might make this even more fun. I have a few questions, and I also just want to talk to someone about this who has a little bit better understanding of this than I do, because look at me, look at this dumbass recording himself looking at a Discord server. What a fucking nerd. I've been talking with co-host Infinite Threat. He's very cool, very awesome. He plays Geometry Dash. I guess we just send the message of like, hey, I'm ready, and then we can figure it out. So give me a minute here. I'm going to discuss stuff, and we shall be back in a minute. Yo, what if I just like played Nelv until one of them responded? What the hell was that? Okay, we have some developments.
Well, hello.
Hello. I can't wait for everyone to find out about this. Okay, so for some reason, I got Infinite Threat, White Spider, and Raven to all join me to talk about the Season 7 twist. So...
What's up?
Exciting.
Very. I don't know. I brought like a few questions, but like I also just want to like just have everyone be able to freely talk about this because content, right? All right.
I want to hear what you think. Honestly, I want to hear your impression of the roles. But if you have questions, then you can ask the questions.
I can like kind of give like my thoughts on all of them. I mean, I have like general ideas, but like I guess that's usually all I have. So I have to go back and I have to go back and like reference these. Vigilante. I like the vigilante. I like the concept behind it.
Mhm.
It's Oh my, dude, this is usually how my recordings go. I have to pause like 15 seconds between like lines to figure it out, and it always just gets cuts out.
It's fine. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, that's what I always
It's
do.
it's fine.
It turns out fine enough. I think there's really two ways to take this vigilante. You either take it at the base level that you have 5 votes for the round. Unless everyone else wants to, or you can be the guy who screws everyone over and picks it just so no one else can get the 5 per round, just basically preventing snipers. I like both sides of that. I like how that was designed.
That's a really good way of looking at it because I was just looking at it as like the risk of potentially having 0, but not the benefit of screwing other people over.
There's a lot of fun stuff that can happen with the vigilante, and so far it's been very exciting. We workshop this one a lot, depending on how many votes it should be worth or how many people could pick it before it's worth 0. But what I really like about it so far is that we've had 2 rounds where exactly 2 vigilantes existed, and then we had a round where there were like 5 vigilantes. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of potential for funny stuff. And this most recent round, Danny tried picking vigilante 5 seconds too late after the zap, and that would have completely changed who was eliminated. So it was a big source of drama there.
Yeah, I was watching Danny like cuz I think he was on vigilante like up until 3 minutes before, then swapped to witness, then swapped back to vigilante 5 seconds too late.
And it
It's
would have been
crazy.
Charging who was gone instead of Waffles had he done that. It
Dude.
wouldn't even matter who he voted.
That was closer than the I didn't think it was possible to get closer than the Evan vote. Like how do you manage that twice?
And both of these examples saved Charging, so I think it's pretty fair to say that Charging has the plot armor, has included Blue's plot armor.
Me too.
It's been traded a couple of times, but yeah, Charging definitely is the plot armor man right now.
Fun about vigilante is that it used to actually be like you can't pick next round was the drawback.
Yeah, we
But then
changed the drawback.
Sort of like
I think it's
sheriff.
way more interesting like this.
I noticed that there's only 2 roles that are essentially just a straight benefit without a drawback, Witness
Yeah.
and Oracle, but even then Witness requires some guesswork.
What I
Hide my-
do want to say is that I'd say a drawback you can consider is opportunity cost in a way, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
if I pick this role, is this the best choice or am I losing out on something that would be better for me?
I think that's especially true with Magician because you're likely only picking that if you're in at least a little bit of danger. And chances are there are other roles that could save you more, be it Vigilante, Hive Mind, or Witness. So Magician comes with that risk of like, well, if I'm picking this, I better not be dead otherwise.
And I know there's been like talk about the magician, about like how you could get magician with like a ton of votes, then the next round get no votes in zombie, and then basically be guaranteed to come back with negative votes.
It's awesome, and nobody. Okay, I saw Retro talk about it. Retro talked about it like once, but
Interesting.
and
nobody's
Conquer-
thinking about it.
I didn't notice it. Although
And
some
Retro didn't talk about zombie either. Retro like said, "Oh, Dom's gonna have -9 votes," and then didn't think
Oh.
about the fact you could zombie with that.
I think everyone just took it as a joke, and no one thought
No one
negative
thought
votes.
about the
Yeah,
consequences of
yeah.
that.
No one thought about negative votes being possible.
If they ask us about it, I think we're forced to say yeah. But I think that discovery is like the only possible way that Jason Carmelo doesn't return into the game because nobody's
that was a
gonna
really-
risk.
For sure.
It went through, and now he's essentially immune.
I think the magician zombie strategy brings up the idea of the super vote block. Like that
Mhm.
like that also would have the same purpose.
I think
Or you could
like,
even use extra votes with
Yeah.
magician. the round
Yeah, I was about
before.
to say that, and then do the zombie strat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so awesome.
Yeah, there's
I
so
really
many
hope
ways you
someone
can
does that.
take it if someone's gonna notice and do it. I
Yeah.
think if no one's done it at this point, I doubt anyone will.
We've had some pretty decent uses of Hive Mind so far, though. Viridian this round, without really having any heat, decided to self-vote and use Magician just to block one vote for next round.
Mm-hmm.
Gray used Magician quite advantageously because he was like the third option during the Jason Carmelo zombie round, and he Magicianed, canceling like 3 votes or like 2.5 votes or something like that. And it was
I
important
remember
because the
this.
next round he caught a lot of votes. What do you
And
say about
Magician
it?
is so underrated. Everyone is like, oh, well, you have to be in danger twice in a row. You don't have to be in danger to use Magician. Is the fun part.
Yeah, I feel like you only have to be. I feel like in their perspective, you only have to be in danger once, and then you can like use it as like a safety for the next round in case
Exactly.
that happens again. So
Essentially, it could essentially be free immunity for the next round if
Yeah.
those are
Well, the point is that free immunity only matters if you're going to be in danger. But
right, and it's unlikely you'll
that's-
be in danger twice in a row.
they have a point, but that's also not the only use of the role.
Right. I think the way they're viewing magician and the way we view magician is very different.
funny thought. So I know it can go into negatives, but does it also work the other way, where if you have like -3 votes, play Magician on
Oh.
yourself? Is that +3 votes the next round?
I've been
guess
thinking about
so.
it. I think
It
it,
better be.
should.
I
I
didn't
think it
think about that.
absolutely should.
In the infinitesimally small chance that happens, yes, do that.
Because that means you get to carry like 2 rounds over. You have negative votes again.
Yeah,
So you're
it's like
kind
a
of just carrying it with you.
I don't think that's
It's a
ever
magician.
worth it, but it's really funny.
It is really funny.
Are there any
Yeah, what-
roles that you guys scrapped but really wish you could
Ooh.
have made work?
I don't think
Oh,
we
there was
scrapped any.
there was this one role that I wouldn't say we scrapped it because I don't think we were ever gonna do it. You choose 2 players, and whichever one was closer to tying the vote would get your vote.
I will say there's a lot of ideas that were scrapped and like changed into the final role. Counterfeiter, that went through a lot of different variations before we settled on what it is now. We were gonna do that you would lose 1 coin every round for the rest of the game after you get your +3 coins.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and it would have also been kind of annoying as a host to mark that down.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I'm
like
pretty happy with how it is now.
It's objectively bad to use counterfeiter unless you're gonna use all your coins, right?
Mhm.
So there's
Yeah.
no reason to make it like absolutely
Wait.
tank your coins.
Can counterfeiter let you go into the negatives?
Yes.
Yes, Dom currently has a -5 coins. I believe.
yeah, I find that
That's
so
cool.
funny.
Yeah,
So-
Alien did a market study on him, and it said Lotus currently has -5 coins and a snowball. It's like, oh, he has a bunch of pocket lint and some shoestring.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised no one tried to like point out like, haha, funny joke. I think
Gimli wants to join the council, by the way.
No.
I think like maybe towards the end, like we let someone in for like 5 seconds, say we're gonna destroy the spider web. Go back, tell the others that they'll never believe you or something like that.
We should
I want to
We-
let Lotus in
we
and
let
just
Dom
deafen
in.
him.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll let him in.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Council
Hello.
has come to a decision. The spider web is no more. But he's definitely.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm making that.
Oh my god, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, something I wanted to say is that we were very worried about balancing this correctly, like what metas would emerge, and there is kind of one that's emerging right now, which we could talk about. What made me really happy was that in the first round of the twist, every single role was used. Since then, we haven't had a counterfeiter or a zombie, obviously, but the fact that all of them were used on the first round was like, okay, even if this isn't perfectly balanced, at least somebody got something out of everything.
That
It
was
genuinely makes me so happy as well.
that was a fun round to watch. Even though we know who was going, I still feel like that was pretty fun. Oh, the one thing I did want to touch on. I know there's been like a number of people that have like been ow, I whacked myself in the head. The hive mind. I know there's been a lot of people saying like how it's way too overpowered. It should have been decreased to like half a vote and then add 0.25. I think it was done absolutely perfectly. I loved
Yeah.
it.
Yes, this
It
was
was-
also workshopped. Yeah, we almost had it be 0.5 per person, which would have been simply too much.
I feel like that would have made the
Yeah.
game a bit too hive mind oriented.
Yeah.
I think it's good where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely strong. You know, your vote is worth more than the average person, but even if a meta does emerge where everyone is incentivized to pick hive mind, otherwise their vote won't matter, there's still other things you could do. You could just oracle if you don't care about the vote. You can witness and cancel out some of those heavy votes. You could vigilante if you don't think people are going to do that. Chances are it's probably going to be worth more than the hive mind, even if everybody's picking it.
Yeah,
Like, there's still things you could do.
Yeah, I think the main reason the hive mind meta hasn't come into play is because of the witness.
Hmm.
People love the witness.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the
I think
witness
the-
meta
the-
is in full swing.
I think the only role that I see here that I wouldn't see myself taking, other than zombie, of course, is counterfeiter. I think that's the only one where I feel like y'all could have balanced it a bit better. What were some of your like other variations for that?
There was
Right.
gain 2, lose 3, I think.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that was the
that's
original price point.
How
Another
long-
idea,
If you don't mind
We
me
still
asking,
have
how
the-
long were you guys like? How long have you guys been planning this?
very
Um,
long. In terms of in its current stage, it was probably like as soon as I hired the new co-host, which is I was in
Pretty-
November, late November. But I've had the general twist for this season planned for like almost a year now. In fact, this season's twist is like older than season 8 and 9 somehow.
Jeez.
Are
And
you
I knew
referring
that
to
I
the
wanted to.
trivia or the all the
Uh-huh.
twist cycling?
So both. The trivia was always planned, and just the fact that I would do all the old twists and that I was going to workshop some of them, especially season 7. I knew that I wanted to have them pick their roles. There were no roles planned at the time, but yeah, that idea has been around for a while.
Okay. Oric. What the hell? What?
Or
Someone just followed me on Twitch. I'm not even streaming.
W.
I had the biggest jump scare of my life. I just hear yippee in my headphones, and it took me like.
Oh, you have alerts.
I heard yippee, and I was like, what the hell was that? Oracle. I got it. That was Raven. I got a follow from Raven. Thank you for the follow, Raven. I appreciate you. I think this is fine. I think this is fine in concept, but the fact that there are 2 people who are always getting coins kind of makes this a little worthless. It's always Gray and a
Yeah.
car getting the coins, and there's only one other spot, so.
Yeah, Gray has
Well-
been on a tear.
You can beat them. You get the jump on them because you know exactly when to be ready.
And there is also like one other freebie that isn't Gray or a car that always goes out, because the other coin's always random basically.
Akar is really firing up because he was not on top of the trivia towards the beginning, and now he's been getting like 2 around half the time.
Yeah.
Gray has gotten a coin every round for the last like 13 rounds.
That
so
is
far.
an insane stat.
Oh, there's the image.
There it is.
Oh.
He moved my eye? What the heck?
yeah,
Someone tell him it's a white shirt.
Robert's pretty good at that.
he just usually uses his powers for evil.
On the topic of Oracle, I want to say this was also workshopped. That's you might want to get a workshop counter on this video.
Alright.
But we had an idea of having Oracle be you can choose whether to learn the times or the answers to the next trivia questions. So you would know the answer before you even know, or maybe knowing the question and not the answer. That way you could study in advance, and then you
Yeah,
obviously don't know what time it'll
something like
pop up,
that.
but you'll know the answer.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little too overpowered.
And I was also worried about a situation where people would tell.
Share the information.
Yeah.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
Players have a tendency to like collaborate and ruin like the selfish aspects of a twist in order to gain
Yeah.
good favor. So I'm surprised that actually hasn't happened yet with Oracle. And it's also, in the case of if somebody thinks maybe you were a vigilante and you sniped, but you were an Oracle, you could use that as proof that you were the Oracle. So we haven't seen that yet though, which
I haven't
I
even
think I'm
thought
glad
about that.
Or the problem.
That's a really cool interaction.
What else?
We've talked counterfeiter. Witness. I do actually have some things to say about witness. So you guys know I love my spreadsheets. I love my stats. From looking at like all the people who have done witness, you can kind of see how everyone like views other players based on what they choose. Like I've seen a lot of people pick Robert for vigilante, which makes me think a lot of people think of Robert as like the go-getter and that aggressive player.
Mm-hmm.
It also helps that he claimed to take vigilante most rounds.
Oh, did he?
There's definitely a lot of that though, where people are trying to figure out what someone would be inclined to pick. I've seen a lot of that.
I can see a lot of people are viewing Brandon and Lucas because a good chunk of people have picked Brandon and Lucas for vigilante. I can see a lot of them thinking of them as those aggressive go-getters, like trying to control the game. And there's also the obvious, if you know someone's voting for you, you can try and guess their role to nullify their vote.
There's kind of like two different schools of thought that I've seen with the witness so far. Is that one school of thought is, let me pick the two people who I feel the most confident I could guess what their role is. Maybe they said it, or maybe they have an obvious play to make. And then the other school of thought, which is like the Chan school of thought, is just, let me just pick my enemies and hope I guess right so that they can never vote for me. And so far she's gotten the most correct. She's gotten 3 people who could not vote for her.
I think 4.
That's insane.
I think 4, right?
Yes, 4. Well, one of them's gone now, Waffles, but yeah, 4.
Oh.
And no one else has 3,
Yeah.
so kudos to her.
Oh yeah,
That's impressive.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
It's really
I'm
funny
definitely-
because I don't have trusted spectators, so half the time I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
Oh, you
Oh,
don't?
I forgot about that, yeah.
do you want trusted?
No, it's way funnier this way.
Yeah, fair enough.
One of my biggest fears with this twist was that everyone would do witness and everyone would guess correctly to the point where like barely anybody could vote for each other and we would have like 1 vote snipes and stuff like that.
I was really hoping for the round where literally everyone would pick zombie except one person and the game would just end.
Well, someone gets revived. Final
Yeah, it
two.
would go straight to final 2. Every single person picked zombie in the same round, then there would be a winner declared immediately.
I think it would have been funny to specify that for no reason.
I think I made a joke about it in the chat because they were talking about like, guys, let's all pick zombie, and I was like, hey guys, if you all pick zombie, we could finish this season right now.
Oh yeah. What would happen if literally every single person chose zombie? Does the game just end with no one winning?
No winner. The end.
Well, we would just have to see whoever had the fewest votes, and then that would be the winner. That would be a very both climactic and anticlimactic ending, but it'd be funny.
It'd be iconic.
They're making fake dialogues about what we might be talking about.
Thank you, Joe. I want to talk about counterfeiter just for a second because a lot of people keep saying it's useless because you just like, oh, I only get some coins and then I lose them. But it's just optimal to pick it exactly once, right? You get coins, you spend the coins, and then never again. I think anyone who doesn't pick it once is missing out.
My thought process with counterfeiter is that ideally you would want to use it on the very last round of the phase. Obviously, they don't know when the phase is going to end. Ideally you use Oracle for now and try to get your coins up, or just try to get your coins up naturally, and then on the last round you use counterfeiter, spend it all, and then be done with it.
Because the coins are going to become irrelevant anyway soon.
So we'll see. Maybe people will start picking counterfeiter as time goes on.
We need to recreate Joe's message.
At
the video.
We can, do we want to do this so that I can make some like terrible edit? Guys, I think Jason is gonna win Spiderweb 10.
I'm sorry, but your prediction, Jason, has been eliminated from the spiderweb.
No, you can't say that. Jason used the zombie card in order to be revived.
Of course I can. I have over 20 million power in Rise of Spiderweb. I picked the threats Brandon and Alien and received a major infrastructure boost.
Threats? Ha! You made the wrong choice. UTRs caught in a car, I was able to get 50 million draft points. With their stealthy sneakiness and less presence, it only took a couple minutes to maneuver boost and claim all my predictions.
We're all but a bunch of fools.
What?
What?
By implementing over-the-tops Joa and Random, I managed to receive up to 75 million draft points by implementing a major Final 5 combo, even adding a simple winner as well.
Wow, I can't believe that. You have to teach me your ways. Rise of Spiderweb. Download now.
That's amazing.
Peak writing. I guess I also would like to imagine a world where everyone picks Vigilante.
Everyone dies. Jason Carmelo
No,
wins the spider.
wait. What happened? What happens if
Yeah.
everyone has 0 votes except one person who has -1 vote?
Yeah, then everyone
I-
else would die. I can't honestly. I fear a round where everyone has 0 votes because I do not have a contingency in place for that.
I'm just thinking about what if everyone ties with 0 votes, and then if someone is forced to step.
Have we touched on every rule? Probably.
Yeah, I
At
At
think
least
so.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about the whole witness 1 versus 2 guesses thing. That was a big, like, consideration.
We figured that if it was just 1 guess per round, that it would be pretty weak and people wouldn't like it. And we figured that 2, that people would take it a lot, but that it was still more fun that way. Maybe there was a better balance. I don't know exactly what we could have done, but I think I'm pretty happy with how it is.
Yeah,
Just
two
yeah,
players
I think
as
it
a
turned out
single
well.
roll.
Maybe
If you
like
guess yourself, are you not allowed to self-vote anymore?
I would allow that.
Yeah, sure, why
oh,
not?
terrible idea for the witness. If you guess wrong and they vote you that round, their vote power against you is double.
You just reminded me of, like, such a stupid interaction we had when we were planning. Because I think there was some rule where you had to take a self-vote for, like, a future round. And then I was like, me witness guessing myself so I don't have to self-vote.
I mean, we've talked about all we want to talk about.
Now we should just enter their VC and
Yeah.
pretend like nothing has happened.
All right, bye recording. I'll edit this at some point.